Welcome back, people, to another January transfer window talk. Thank you for the fantastic feedback in the last video I did with Aston Villa. In this video I'll be talking about facts and opinions. I will try to remember to put the fact sources in the description below, and obviously my own personal opinion may be different to yours. So if it is, please leave your own feedback or your own comments and thoughts in the comments below. Today I'll be talking about Sunderland, the players I think should be leaving on loan or permanently, the players that are linked to join the club, and the players I think would improve the club towards staying in the Premiership this year. Sunderland have impressed me at the beginning of this season with some fantastic signings, and I will be talking about them in a few minutes. They're currently sitting second from bottom. Will the Black Cats pull off what they do yearly with their black magic and stay up in the Premiership? Right, so let's start with the goalkeepers. Costel Pantilimon is Sunderland's number one. He's 6'8". He's had 7 games as backup keeper at Man City before moving on a free transfer back in 2014. I think he's a good goalkeeper. Considering it was a free transfer, he's okay for a bottom half Premiership team. Vito Mani is the backup keeper. Personally, I think he should drop down a league and get some regular gameplay. He played less and less games per season for Sunderland. I used to like him at Arsenal. I didn't think he was that bad of a keeper, but the fact that he's not getting regular gameplay isn't helping his form. Jordan Pickford has been on loan every season since signing a professional contract back in the 2011-2012 season. He got recalled on the 30th of December, and I'm really hoping Allerdyce gives him some gameplay. Honestly, between Pantilimon and Pickford, I don't think they need to improve their goalkeepers this season. I would consider selling Vito just so he can get some gameplay, ideally to the Championship team, somewhere maybe like Brentford, Ipswich or MK Dons. So let's move on to the defence, and we're going to start with the left backs. We've got Patrick Van Aanholt, a fantastic signing for about 2 mil area. He's a fantastic young promising left back. He has 2 international caps for Holland. He's a key player for their back line. Robson is Sunderland's only other left back, who I believe is under 21, and I would like to see him go out on loan to a Championship team to get some regular gameplay. I haven't seen the kid play personally, so I can't give a fair comment on him. Allerdyce has stated earlier on in December that he wouldn't be buying any players before selling anyone first, as there are not the funds to do so. Although he has stated that he'd be looking at loanees and free players to improve his squad. I'd personally consider loaning out Robson and bringing in a experienced Premiership player to give Van Aanholt a little bit more competition. Centre backs, we have 3 veteran centre backs, former Man United duo Wes Brown and John O'Shea, aged 36 and 34, and former Tottenham player Kaboul, aged 30. I personally think I could see Brown retiring soon, although I could be wrong. I think he's a solid defender, age is against him and his team's struggling. If they get relegated, I think that would be it for him. I always thought O'Shea was an underrated player back when he played for United. He was happy to play anywhere on the field, including in goal. He's a captain of Sunderland and vice-captain of Ireland. Fantastic player. And Kaboul has unfortunately picked up a serious hamstring injury back around Christmas time. I hope he recovers quickly, as he is a key member with the amount of experience on the field. Sebastian Coates is one of these players I think we all had in our Football Manager game back in 09-2010 season. I know I did, and I was really hoping to see him play a long and promising career at Liverpool. Unfortunately, after 4 years being a Liverpool player, he only got to play 12 times for them, while being out on loan twice. I'm really looking forward to him forming a good partnership with a more experienced centre-back like O'Shea. And last on my list is Roberg, a free agent back in 2013. He's only played a dozen games or so, and I would consider selling him to raise some more funds. At the centre, I would consider the fact that Brown is retiring and selling that Roberg. The fact that O'Shea and Kaboul are getting on a little bit, I would like them to possibly sign a younger player with a little bit more experience, someone like Caulker, who has been linked with the club in the last few weeks. Since writing up this transfer talk video, Sunderland have signed a centre-back, being Jan Kirchhoff of Bayern Munich. A fantastic player, didn't get his chance at Munich, and I'm hoping he proves how good a player he is for Sunderland. Last of all in defence is Sunderland's right backs. For a small price of £2 million, Sunderland got an amazing signing this summer, Adam Matthews from Celtic. Unfortunately, he has been hit with a few ankle or foot injuries. There's no return dates yet, a big player missing from their starting lineup. I was really excited about Yedlin moving to the Premiership, although to Spurs, who at the time had Walker and Norton, I don't really understand that transfer. He's currently on loan to the Black Cats and has played 7 or 8 games, and from what I've seen, he hasn't been too bad of a player. I'm not sure if Sunderland will sign him permanently or if it was just purely for cover for Adam Matthews. And finally, Billy Jones, the man to score his debut goal against local rivals Newcastle. If Yedlin stays after this season, I would really consider Billy leaving. There is no need to change anyone in the right back role for this team. Finally, moving on to the midfield, with Black Cats playing a 5-2-3 or a 3-4-3, that's what Ashley87 stated on Skype to me. Centre defensive midfielder Lee Caboul, vice captain, a guy that likes to get stuck in, is another key player for them, and I can't see leaving anytime soon. Rodwell, when fit, is a fantastic midfielder, and I really want him to play more for City before finally moving to Sunderland. If he stays fit, he would be in the squad every week for me. Jan Mavilla, thanks to Brooksy HT for another fantastic spelling. Thanks, dude. Centre midfield and attacking midfielders, Sebastian Larsson. I still think he's a class player, and I always class him as a winger, but age is against him, and he has been playing more in a centre role. And Jordi Gomez, a guy who went through the Barcelona youth ranks, although never played for the main squad. He's only played about 6 games this season, I think. Apart from looking for a playmaker with a little bit more of a pace, I wouldn't change the midfield too much for this transfer window. Second to last position, we move on to the wingers. Adam Johnson, ignoring the personal life issues, is a fantastic winger. Overranked Downing very quickly at Middlesbrough. He did well when he moved to City, but again, I don't think City gave homegrown players a chance. They just like to spend big and gave no belief in them. And another Holland international, Jermain Defoe, signed for 8 million in the summer, scored a couple of goals, great player. Can't see him staying next season if they get relegated. Will Buckley signed for 2.5 million from Brighton and Hove back in 2014. A player that tries very, very hard. He's a great sub player. 21-year-old Duncan Watmore played about a dozen games and scored a few goals. A promising young English player who I can see playing up front too. I would send Duncan out on loan and look for another winger to challenge Johnson and Lenz. Finally, moving on to Black Cats' forever expanding strike force. Sunderland have 5 strikers on the book. Fabio Borini costing Sunderland 8 mil, potentially rising to 10 mil this season. I don't really have much to say about Borini, as I don't personally rate the player. I used to think the guy was more of a winger, and his stats of 103 games and 25 goals isn't the greatest for a goal scorer. Jermain Defoe price range from each sports page you read from 14 mil, including the value of Altidore, on a 6 million deal on another page. I originally thought the deal was 8 mil plus 5 mils on a value of Altidore, so it kind of works out to be 13 mil. I could be wrong, but I can't find a confirmed price online. A fantastic player, maybe a little past it, but still has a good few goals in him, especially if there is a playmaker waiting to set him up. Danny Graham cost 5 mil and Stephen Fletcher 12 mil. They are 2 players I like, but again, they are 30 and 28 years old. They are great strikers for long ball game, which does kind of suit Allerdyce's gameplay. Ola Toivonen, I could be saying that completely wrong. It's a Swedish striker on loan to Sunderland, has played 45 caps for his country. He has played a handful of games for the club, but hasn't scored many. I believe it's about 1 or 2 goals. Personally opinion, I would sell Borini. He hasn't got the best of attitudes on him. I would try to sell him off. I'd actually try and sell most of these strikers off and search for a whole new strike force. As a summary to who and where I think they need to improve, they don't need to buy a goalkeeper, especially if Pickford steps up a gear. Bring in someone to challenge Van Aanholt at left back and try to bring in a mid-20-year-old centre back who has a little bit of a Premiership experience on him. Maybe a centre mid that can supply that needed pass to assist the strike force, a backup winger, and honestly a brand new set of strikers. So where do I think that they will finish this season? They're currently sitting 19th in the Premiership. They've conceded the most amount of goals, which is about 39, I believe. They just not scoring enough goals. Again, it would take a miracle for Sam Allerdyce to keep Sunderland up this season. I know they always manage to scrape it, but I can't see them I don't think that they will this year. They seriously need a centre-back, a centre-mid and a decent striker this transfer window. If they do, then I can see them finishing just above relegation. If not, the drop looks most certain. Additional information that I've looked up after writing this video out. The players Big Sam Allerdyce have reportedly willing to part will be Will Buckley, Danny Graham, Roberg and Liam Bridgecut, who I believe is currently on loan. Rumours of Jordan Rhodes, Andy Carroll for 18 mil, Immobile, Jan Kirchhoff, who has already signed, Kone, who is a defender, not the Everton player, have also been linked with Sunderland. Another source stated that the fans are most worried about losing Jermain Defoe in the January transfer window, having been linked with Bournemouth earlier on in this week. If you enjoyed this video, or you would like me to do another team, as I've already done Aston Villa and Sunderland this transfer window, if there's another team that you're interested in me reviewing, leave a comment below, leave me some feedback, show me your own opinions, and I'll catch you next time for a different team. See you later, guys. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this video or any of my other content, please hit that like button, sub to me if you are new, and please leave some feedback below.